Jeremiah said, I hear many whispering, denounce him, let us denounce him. Say all my close friends, watching for my downfall. Whereas we have this morning from the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 20, verses 10 to 13. In the first read of today, Jeremiah complained that his close friends conspired against him. They worked against his success. That is quite strange. How can someone you consider a close friend intentionally work against your success, undermine your efforts? Because close friends ordinarily are people we consider plus members of our inner circle, with whom we share strong bond. We depend on them for emotional support, intimacy, shared stories, experiences. Before them, we are usually free and authentic. Sometimes we become even stupid around them because we have no fear of being judged, betrayed, or blackmailed. We always feel secure because we know that they have got our back in good times and also in difficult moments. This kind of friendship offers you a safe place and gives you some kind of sense of security. So if this is what close friends do, then it becomes more difficult to imagine why Jeremiah's close friends conspired against him. Does it really happen? Have you had that experience as a person? That is, those you considered close friends sabotaged your efforts, worked against you? Or have you, as a person, treated those who considered you a close friend that way? I think there is a technical name for it. Frenemy, I think so. That is, when someone acts like a friend, but more or less they are rivals or competitors. This kind of friendship is a little bit confusing because it is built on mixed signals. There is a hidden jealousy, underlying distrust, and then there is also that external expression or manifestation of politeness or love. You usually see this kind of friendship or situation in our social environment, perhaps in our workplaces. But sometimes, sadly, we see it among the members of our own church. They manipulate you. They gossip about you. Sometimes they come to you, get some information, and then go behind you and use it against you. They look at you and hope that you're going to make a mistake, so that they will use that mistake against you. Or as Jeremiah said, his own close friends were watching for his fall. Let us go back to Jeremiah's experience and see how he managed that kind of situation or those kind of friends. And also see what we can do if we ever get into that kind of situation with those close to us. Number one, recognizing the reality. Jeremiah recognized, he discovered that all those he considered close friends were not actually working for him. They were rather working against him. It takes someone who is smart and intelligent and observant to discover that. You know, being charitable, being a Christian, being a prophet as he was, or even being a priest, doesn't mean that you should also be naive. Even Jesus Christ, while he was sending us into the world, he said to us, when you get there, please be as gentle as doves, but please also be as smart and wise as serpents. Jeremiah was smart enough to notice that those around him were working against him. You don't need to ignore certain repeated patterns of behaviors that are very harmful to your mental health or to your salvation because they are close friends. When you recognize that kind of situation, as Jeremiah did, the usual thing is to take precautions, maybe starting by building certain healthy boundaries, reducing personal information you disclose, and also reducing dependency, because sometimes the more you depend on such people for emotional support, opportunities, or approval, the more power they have against you or use against you. Even Jesus Christ, during his own time, there was a time it was so necessary that he had to withdraw from certain people because they were about frustrating his mission. And you read it so much in the Bible. Jesus went away. Jesus withdrew. So there's also time you can withdraw if certain situation is not for your mental health and most importantly for your eternal salvation. Jeremiah was smart to recognize the reality. And that's why he shouted, "My close friends are plotting against me." Number two, you can also talk about that situation directly with the person or persons involved. Especially if the relationship is still important to you, or you feel that those people are acting out of their characters. Jesus tells us, if someone hurts you, go to that person and talk it over directly. Because sometimes people do not understand the effect of their actions on the people around them. The effect of their gossip on people around them. The effect of their maneuvering for people around them. So sometimes, in fact, it's part of the biblical injunction that you talk it over with the person. Address it with the person directly. It may be a time to win the person over or to redeem the person even. Lastly, no matter what happens, retaliation is not on the table. It is not an option. Vengeance, no. You know, the easiest way to deal with free enemies is to pay them back in their own coin. Gossip for gossip. Bad way for bad way. If you backstab me, I give it to you back, and it is equal. But what did Jeremiah do? No. After lamenting about what his close friends did to him, he ended by saying, "Lord, I entrust my cause unto you. Let the vengeance come from you, not from me." And that is why I say for us, retaliation is not an option, it's not on the table. And sometimes the Bible tells us that we should pray for our enemies and those who hurt us. So even when we are praying for those who hurt us and for those our enemies, we must also pay attention to the prayers we say. Because sometimes our prayers for those who hurt us could become eventually an expression of our retaliation and vengeance. And that is one thing you will see in the prayer of Jeremiah. He said, "Lord, take care of this. I am innocent. These guys are my close friends, but they are now plotting against me. I will not go eye for eye. I will not go truth for truth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to entrust it to your care." As I said, it's usually the easiest thing to do to fight back or to retaliate, but it's not on the table, unfortunately. So, dear friends, reading from Jeremiah, we can see a man who was hurt not by people away from him, but people who were close to him. But sometimes members of our family. So today, let us evaluate people we consider close friends, whether we have parted ways or they are still with us. In the light of that, we must ask ourselves, how am I treating those who confide in me, those who consider me their close friends? I hope I'm not abusing the relationship. I hope I'm not using the information they give me to work against them. I hope I'm not showing them one color, who I am, but at the back I'm something else. I hope I am indeed a genuine friend to those who are close to me. And then also, if someone has abused the fact that you were close to them, or somebody abused your generosity, or used whatever information you share as close friends against you, how are you dealing with it? Are you still looking for opportunity to get even with the person? Are you still targeting how to strike back? Let's go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah says, Lord, I commit my cause to you. Let the vengeance come from you. So, dear friends, the experience of Jeremiah regarding his close friends could also teach us lessons how we are to people who have considered us close friends, and also how we can use our close relationship with people not just for our benefit, also for their own benefit, and above all for eternal salvation. But whatever happens between you and your close friends, please be smart enough to recognize the reality, the signs, whether that's still helpful for you. Number two, you can talk it over with them, and please, as New Testament Christians, retaliation is off the option.